Hi everyone. Our previous lesson was all about determining the relevance and the truthfulness of the ideas presented. It is very important to determine the details which are relevant and truthful because that prevents you to commit bias and prejudice. Now, we will be discussing about judging the validity of the evidence from the text. In Cebuano, mauni ang leksyon mahitungod sa giunsa nato paghukom or paghusga ang kabalido or ang pagkamaayo sa tinuod nga ebidensya gikan sa atong gipangbasa or gipaminawan. To start with, let's check your prior knowledge and try answering these questions that will develop your skills in evaluating the validity of evidence from the text. Question number 1. Which of the following best explains the word evidence? Alright, so the correct answer for this one is letter D. Evidence is a set of facts, data, or information used to support a point or a claim. So that's more likely letter D. Number 2. Which of the following defines the meaning of relevance? Okay, very good. So the correct answer here is letter D. It is the information that matches an argument and its condition to the topic. So relevant is defined as the information that matches an argument and its condition to the topic. That's letter D. Okay, number 3. Which of the following best describes accuracy in evidence? So we're talking about accuracy in evidence this time. Okay, very good. The correct answer is letter D. Accuracy in evidence is the evidence that is real, acceptable, reliable, and truthful that supports the claim. That's letter D. Number 4. When can we say that evidence is valid? So, when can we say that the evidence is valid? Alright, so we can say that the evidence is valid if the evidence and the information are relevant and accurate and it supports the claim or opinion of the writer. Okay, let's start with number 5 now. What is the first thing a reader must do in order to find the valid evidence in a text? So we are going to select here what's the first thing that we must do in order to find the valid evidence in a text. Alright, so we'll have to identify specific facts, data, statistics, examples, or other information that supports that point. Alright, so this time we will be listening to the conversation of Len and Sasha. Then you will complete the graphic organizer and you will answer as well the questions that follows.
Hey, Sasha. Have you seen the sexist remark of President Duterte in his televised speech last night? I got annoyed that he belittled the capability of women.
What made you say that? What are your pieces of evidence? He was just telling that he does not want his daughter to run for presidency in the next election. As a father, he does not want his daughter to go through the hardship he experienced.
True. He's just being protective as a father. However, using women as an excuse to discourage her daughter from running as president is unfair. In fact, there are notable leaders who have led their respective nations successfully. According to a Forbes article, those countries with successful coronavirus responses were led by feisty and committed women such as Tsai Ing-wen of Taiwan, Angela Merkel of Germany, Erna Solberg of Norway, Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand and Sanna Marin of Finland. In our country, former President Cory Aquino became the beacon of hope among many Filipinos when she brought back the democracy.
I see. Maybe the president was just carried away by his emotions. At least, now I know that there are many leaders around the world who are women.
Going back to the conversation of Lenlen and Sasha, do you agree with Lenlen's opinion? Did Sasha agree with her opinion as well? Why do you think so? Can you identify the facts mentioned by Lenlen that support her opinion? And lastly, are those facts valid pieces of evidence? Now that is what this topic is all about. Let's start with evidence. Evidence is a fact, a datum, an information, and examples. This is of any form of information that a writer uses to support the points or to support the claim she or he is trying to make. In assessing evidence, the first step is to find it or to identify it. And one of the best ways to do this is to start with the point the author wants to make. Then, look for specific details. It could be a fact, a data, an examples, or etc. that she or he provides to support that point. That is the evidence for that point. Let us check this example. The author of this text is claiming something. So if we say claim, this is an assertion of the truth of something. So if we're going to talk about it in Cebuano, so claim in Cebuano, this talks about sa pag-angkon or giangkon nga pahayag na naay tinuod para sa iyaha or gikan sa nagstorya. Okay, this is our example. A homemade oatmeal cookies are not only a better snack option than a candy bar or pack of crackers, they are actually good for you. Since we already identified the claim that the author is trying to make, what we will be doing next is to figure out and identify the evidences on the text that is written here. We need to make sure that this is a valid evidence and this is also checked and verified. One of the evidence that we can see here is, first, 1 ounce homemade oatmeal cookie will give you up to 27 milligram of folate. That is 6% of your daily recommended allowance, RDA, which is a B vitamin that your body uses to make energy. The second evidence is oatmeal cookies are also a good source of iron. A 1 ounce homemade oatmeal cookie contains 0.70 milligram of iron. That is 9% of the RDA for men and 4% of the RDA for women. The third of the evidence is oatmeal cookies are a great source of fiber. A 1-ounce homemade oatmeal cookie will give you a whole gram of soluble fiber, which reduces bad cholesterol and lowers your risk of heart disease. These are the specific facts used as evidence that support the claim or opinion. How do you evaluate its validity? How do we evaluate its validity? There are many ways to evaluate the validity of evidence or evidences, but there is a set of criteria or standards that is almost always used. The first one is relevance. In choosing the evidence for your claim, it should match the argument. Its condition should be connected with the matter at hand. Second is accuracy. To support the claim, the evidence should be authentic or it's real. It's acceptable or reliable and truthful that represents the whole topic. And for us to analyze and evaluate the validity of the evidence, we have these steps as well. In analyzing, we have to identify the point the author is trying to prove. Then, we need also to identify the evidence, the specific facts, data, statistics, and examples, or other information that supports that point. Then, we have to identify the most important pieces of evidence for that point. That's for analyzing. For evaluation and for evaluating, for each piece of evidence, we have to ask the following questions. Is it relevant? Is it accurate? The more questions you answer yes, the more valid the evidence is. And you have to use your best judgment based on whatever information you have and on your overall sense of the author's credibility. Part of the process of learning is developing your skill at spotting reliable and unreliable evidence, even if without all the information that you need. So for us to be guided, we have tips on analyzing and evaluating the validity of the evidence. A helpful method in evaluating things objectively. It may sound a bit laborious, but it actually helps the process of evaluation and it goes pretty quick. It's a good way to keep your thinking organized. One of the things that we need to do, or one of the method is we need to make a paragraph outline. A table, for example, showing each of the major points of the article. Then we can also label them for easy reference. Under each point, lists some of the key pieces of evidence, just a word or phrase to recall the most important ones. Label these as well, like A, B, C, or etc. Mark which paragraph they came from so it can be found easily. Another method is underline the most important pieces of evidence from the lists. In other words, select even fewer pieces. So hopefully you're getting something from this specific video. Thank you so much.